Did you see this chart right here? Bitcoin still has not flashed green on the legendary Super Guppy. Is this a problem? Is this a warning sign for Bitcoin? Let's investigate. If you're new here, welcome in. My name is Steve. On this channel, we talk about the cold, hard facts for Bitcoin. So hit that subscribe button. Or you can wait until the end of the video. I'll prove it to you in this video that this is the place to be. If you want to use crypto to gain financial freedom, there's no better place in the world. This is the place to be. I'll prove it to you and we'll make a deal. At the end of the video, you will subscribe. We have a deal? Let's do this. All right, weekly chart, Bitcoin, US dollar index. On this side of the screen, we have Bitcoin in 2015, the same fractal pattern with the Super Guppy. And this is present day over here, 2023, still not green. Let's break it down pound for pound, move for move, because this is pretty fascinating. What we noticed in 2015 is we were green for a long time. We were green for a very long time, and we reached our market cycle top here. Now, this is where things get interesting because it was about 180-ish days of white once we flipped from green to this white area here. So in 2015, about 180-ish days of white as we're in an absolute downtrend. How about in 2022? We were about 180-ish days of white as we were in this remarkable downtrend, okay? And then we switched from white to red. And this is where things started to really heat up because when we switched to red on the Super Guppy, the bottom was already in. And when we covered it right here on our channel, when we flipped to red back here in August of 2022, I said it's highly likely the bottom is already in. That's what we did back here. Now in retrospect, it's easy to say, okay, this was the first bottom and this was the second bottom, incredibly strong bullish divergence while it's forming. But 180-ish days of white, and then we switched to red. In our current fractal pattern, we have been red for about 240-ish days. Just a little over 200-ish days, right? And same here, just about 230-ish days back in 2015. So the amount of white space in that exact market cycle was the exact time that we spent in the current market cycle in white. The exact time in 2015 that we spent in red at the bottom of our market, once the bottom was already in, was the same time in our current market cycle. The bottom was already in, and we had spent the same amount of time in that cycle. Now, what is also true is that in 2015, while the market was red in the Super Guppy, we had this enormous rally. The enormous rally started phase one of the bull, and that ended the red period, right? You can see here, this was the bottom of our market. We rallied from there all the way up. This candle right here literally represents phase one of the bull, and this candle literally was the first one out of the red. Okay, so if you look present day, right here was the market cycle bottom. We rallied all the way up to here. This candle right here literally represents phase one of the bull, quite literally. And this candle is literally just out of the red. So pound for pound, move for move, so far, things are identical. We had the green. We had the same white space. We had the same red space. We had the same bottoming of the market. We had the same move through the red space. We had the same move through into phase one of the bull. And this is where things start to take a turn because phase one of the bull happened here and we switched from red to this white color. And this white color lasted about 77 days, okay? Where we moved from this white period in phase one of the bull to the green. Now, let's take a look at what we're doing present day market cycle. So far, we have been white not for 77 days. 77 days would have meant that back in June 12th, we switched to green. But we didn't switch green on June 12th. In fact, we didn't switch green on June 13th or 14th or 15th. Even in July, we didn't switch to green. In fact, we still haven't switched to green and it's August. What the hell is Bitcoin doing? We were pound for pound, move for move with this Super Guppy for literally years. And then suddenly we've taken a turn. So what does this mean, right? When we start to analyze it, we start to look at this white cycle and then we'll start to see what's happening. So it's clearly this candle right here was phase one of the bull. That's where we're at with this candle right here. phase one of the bull. Now, when we entered phase one of the bull, we still came down inside of this channel, but we held most of it as some support up at the higher levels, right? The current market cycle, we did have this move here, which really put a damper into things and could very well be one of the biggest reasons why we haven't switched to green yet, because we fell from all the way up here where we were holding nice little support. We fell all the way back down through, putting a little bit of a wrench into things and potentially foreshadowing what's to come. We'll get to that in a moment. But what we didn't do in phase one of the bull here was have that downfall. We just continued to go sideways. The market was really, really boring, right? So present day, we understand, okay, well, this is a significant difference. What else can we decipher? Well, what we can also decipher is that Bitcoin held critical market structure, okay? Holding critical resistance through this whole period. And it literally took a couple hundred days, about 200 days for Bitcoin to move higher in price. It moved sideways for 200 days building market structure. Well, so far, we're not 200 days in, we're 119 days in. So 119 days ago, I sat right here in this chair and I said, Bitcoin's going to move sideways. This is the calm before the storm. There's going to be no volatility and it's highly unlikely we get above 31K. All of those things 119 days later are precisely accurate. Why? We didn't have a crystal ball. We just look at the facts in the charts. That's it. We just look at the facts. I read the facts like a book. This is like a language, right? Some people can speak English. Some people can speak French. Some people can speak Spanish. That's a language. Charts are a language. Not a lot of people can speak chart language where you can look at a chart and read it. A lot of people have their ego getting in the way that they can, but this is a different language. And once you read it, you can read any chart in the world. And that's what I want to teach you here. The principles, how to read the chart, what to look for, how to compare cycles, how to compare fractal patterns, how to look at different indicators through different lenses to understand where we are in market cycles. This is what we're doing, right? And when you break it down, this appears to be the main culprit. For why is Bitcoin screwing itself up here? We are right on schedule, or we were for a couple years, right? So what we're waiting for next is this move from white move into this green territory. This green territory was at the tail end of the calm before the storm. And that green territory really started to take a shift. But during that green territory, we held some support through the whole bluish area here. You can see that our candles never even came down to touch the green. That all of these moving averages up here are bluish and all of this down here are green. That's one thing to keep in mind, is that in this phase one of the bull, there was a little bit more volatility than in this phase one of the bull. That's the only difference. So with the volatility change, we affected the color. Case in point, right here, literally twice as long to switch to green was 77 days. We're quite literally 133 days in. We're almost double, okay? So it is for that reason. Now, is that a concern? Right now, I am not concerned about phase one. We are in the disbelief phase. Just as we said last year, we said phase one of the bull is going to happen in 2023. Nobody wanted to believe us. They laughed at us. They pointed at us. And we're in phase one of the bull. It's almost undeniable at this moment. Bitcoin has doubled in price, quite literally. The stock market has had the best start of a year in 40 years. They all said that this was going to be a bloodbath. I don't know what happened to that, but we said the whole time it was going to be phase one of the bull. And that's precisely what happened in all markets. So you want to look at the facts in the charts. You don't want to hear people's emotional opinion about what could potentially happen. You want to know what are the cold, hard facts, and that's it. That should be your only concern. Not the news, not events, not ETFs, facts, bona fide facts. So when you look at the facts, you can understand, hey, we're here. We had a little bit of a wrench thrown into the mix, but we're going to be just fine. And when we switch to green, we definitely want to hold our above levels as support. And the market's not quite ready for that given our recent volatility. We need a couple minutes to catch our breath, to establish our balance, to continue to build market structure. And I expect this to move into this green territory in the coming weeks. And we will cover it live right here when it does. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we do have a huge trade alert, okay? This trade alert is going to be massive. When we do trade alerts, they are enormous, and we're going to do one absolutely free to our email list. We're going to show a lot of love to our email list, okay? So my past trade alerts that we put out for free to my community was Amazon could have made over 40%. Netflix could have easily doubled, tripled your money. Meta could have easily doubled, tripled your money. We gave an alert way down here and then it went all the way up here. So when we give a trade alert, they're massive. We're going to do another one completely free to our email list, but this is your last day to get on the email list. So go to cryptocrewuniversity.com. You'll get this trade alert absolutely free. And then you'll get another market report every single week with the most important things in the market completely free. No hidden charges, none of that BS. Free. Cold hard, free, bona fide, facts. The value actually helps you. We're out here giving tons of value, helping improve people's lives and giving them, if you really want to use crypto to gain financial freedom, this is the place to be. With these trade alerts, with this information, with our market cycle analysis of what's happening 3, 6, 8 months from now. A lot of people are talking about what's going to happen 3 or 6 days from now. We're in the months category, and usually we're also in year category. So this is a place you want to be. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you right back here in the next video. Peace and love to the fellow underdogs. Do you want to know when to buy and when to sell? Click this video right now.